was a done deal. And then they broke it. They always break it. We've had 10 deals with these people, and so we're just going to hit them very hard. And we're gonna keep the strait, and we'll probably run it. We'll become the guardian of the strait. Maybe we'll call it the guardian angel of the strait.
Hello. So, what I want to talk about for a minute is what's going on. This is July 13th, 2026. On April 4th, 2026, I was talking about the prophetic dream, the prophecy that the Lord gave me concerning the U.S. and Iran war, the battle He showed me all night long through night visions and prophetic dreams. So in one of those videos, I've made many videos since February and March, but in one of those videos, and I put a clip of it on TikTok and YouTube. At first I had said, I don't really know who would control the Strait of Hormuz after the main slaughter of Iran. Iran will be decimated. However, we're not going to see that just yet. This will be more prevalent when a few things have to happen first before the U.S. controls the strait completely without Iran interrupting it at all. And that is, the prophecy is that when we see U.S. soldiers set on fire, some U.S. soldiers will die by a type of consuming fire. I received that February 27th in a revelation while I was wide awake on my bed. I was consumed by flames coming over me. And I had the total, at the top, when the flames almost seemed like they were being sprayed on me. And one person on here said it sounds like it could be some napalm death stuff. But when some U.S. soldiers set foot in Iran, whether it's Carg Island or whatever, they're going to be consumed by a type of booby trap fire. This has also been prophesied by other prophets before I even knew it. See, I put mine out there first, and someone sent me some videos. And thank you for that, Steve. I would say your last name, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Steve Campanelli. Sorry. I'm not looking at it right now. But we're mainly going to see the U.S. take over the strait when, first, soldiers are consumed by fire. That's when the U.S. is just going to obliterate and decimate Iran. Okay? Yes, we see them back at fighting right now. But I wouldn't doubt if we see Trump, slow this attack down in a few weeks, maybe. Right now, I think he's going off a fresh adrenaline he got from Khamenei's funeral, the Ayatollah, the one they killed. Look what they were doing. Had all these effigies of Trump saying, "Kill Trump, death to America." He knows there's really no way you're going to make a deal with them. And Iran constantly saying, "Oh, I bet they are calling," and say, "Please stop bombing for now," blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I wouldn't stop, because for one, this is prophesied in the Bible to happen. I'm honored to be a part of that. I didn't know God was going to show me details of this prophecy. And but He did back in February and March. And so I've got many videos about it. And I kind of had to put it all together from the prophetic dream that I was shown, because, it was like all night long and I was tired, And the Lord kept saying, every time I wake up and go back to sleep, I'd return back to the scenes of the battle of the Strait of Hormuz. And the Lord would say, "This is the Strait of Hormuz. This is the Strait of..." Well, I didn't know anything about the Strait of Hormuz. But so it took me really about a few hours to put it all together, but of what I was shown. And so once we see soldiers set on fire, consumed by a fire, die from some type of Iranian booby trap of fire, that's, like I said, that's when the U.S. is just going to obliterate them. And then from there, after that fighting stops, which is going to be a fierce battle, I've already said that past few months, actually since March, then I think that's when we'll really see the U.S. take over the Strait of Hormuz. And I think it's going to be eventually handed over to some other neighboring nations, maybe, to take over. But immediately after the total decimation of Iran, like I said, I saw the ending of this war and what was going to happen in the beginning. Okay. I believe that's when we'll see the U.S. after Iran, after the battle stops, and I mean the battle. And after the soldiers are set on fire, after the battle stops, then the U.S. will have basically full control of the Straits of Hormuz. And, but you know, like I said, I've been talking to the Lord about this. I've been going over everything that He showed me, dissecting everything He showed me. And that's what you got to do when you have a prophetic dream like that. You got to go over and over it and over it. And I honestly wish this would be over, period, because I'm tired of looking at the Strait of Hormuz. I'm tired of seeing it on the news. I'm tired of dealing with it. You know, this is a big prophecy, though. It is. It's very important. And so I'm dealing with it, you know. But it's you know, I'm just tired of hearing about it, you know. And after the soldiers set on fire, we start blasting away. Don't be surprised if gas prices spike really high, probably higher than $4 or $5 a gallon. It may go up to $7 or $8 a gallon. I don't know that for sure. That's not a revelation. Don't hold me to that one. But I wouldn't doubt it, because it's going to be a fierce battle. Okay, I saw the battle, the main battle. Yeah, we're battling now, but this ain't the battle I'm talking about. There's a much worse battle coming over the Straits of Hormuz, and the U.S. will win. It's prophesied in Jeremiah 49, Ezekiel, and Daniel. God said, I will pursue Elam with the sword and destroy them. And that is the will of God right now. But yet, America, beware of 2039. That's not something, you know, I live with that every day. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, America in 2039, go through my videos and watch them, all of them, if you can. You know, watch a good chunk of them and you'll understand what I'm saying. I'm not going to get into it right now in this video. It's about something else. But like I said, I think primarily once Iran's decimated, during that main fierce battle, after the soldiers are set on fire, the U.S. is going to just attack Iran and not stop until everybody's dead and everything's blown up. Okay, that's what God showed me. I saw it in the prophetic dream all night long. And, you know, every time I would wake up and go back to sleep, well, I'd wake up trying to get away from the dream because I was tired. And I didn't realize, you know, I did realize God was showing me something, but I didn't, my heart wasn't in it at the moment. Because, you know how it is when you're tired, you just want to sleep, you know what I'm saying? And I hadn't slept very good that day. You know, the night before, you know, I hadn't slept very good. I'd probably wake up 2, 3 in the morning, stay awake, you know, all day when I should be sleeping. And so, yeah, I guess when the Lord's ready to send you something, you better be ready, you know. But it took me a couple hours to put it all together and realize, hey, you know, God's including me in this. I better get this thing right, you know. And that's the thing about receiving a prophecy, is you better get it right the first time, because that's the only time that matters, right? You know. So we'll continue to see this unfold. Like I said, I wouldn't doubt if Trump might back off a little, might hope for another deal, but really in his heart he should know Iran's playing him. Iran's just buying time. Iran will never surrender. Iran will never stop, because they want to avenge Kamali's death, their father's death, you know, the Ayatollah, whatever. They want to avenge his death, you know. And so they're not going to stop no matter what. So Trump needs to realize that. See, with Trump, and I've known this since we've been going back and forth with the strait being open, close, deal, no deal, deal, no deal. Trump doesn't want to have to hurt innocent people. Honestly, some of them are against the IRCG, and they do want to be liberated. I understand some of them do, but most of them don't. I wouldn't think. Look at all the people that attended the funeral. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that I want anyone to die. I don't. But this is Bible prophecy. It's God's will at the moment. But God said that, and how I know Trump will not use nuclear weapons on Iran is because the scripture goes on also in the prophecy in the Bible says that Elam, which is Iran, 4 letters there, will be able to recover years down the road. But, with America only having 12 and a half years until 2039, then I think maybe Iran will be able to recover enough in 12 years to join in the attack on America in 2039. And so, but America is going to decimate Iran after the soldiers are set on fire. They're not going to stop that time. Ain't no peace deals no more after that. So keep your eye on that. Keep your eye on the news. If it's going to happen, God. I mean, I went through the fire, of what the soldiers are going to go through. Like I said, the flames climbed up my left side. I was just sitting on my bed watching TV, middle of the day, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, wide awake, not asleep, not in a trance. See, sometimes when a prophet receives revelation, that it's sudden, it's instant revelation. You don't know sometimes when it's coming. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you can feel a revelation building up over a day or two. You can sense it in your spirit. But this, I didn't. This was just instant. Flames like being sprayed all up the left side of my body until it got up here over my head. And at that moment, I knew I was dead. I had great terror and fear. And I actually saw myself as a soldier standing on Iranian soil when this happened. And I felt like I was one of them because I was going through the terror of these flames, overtaking me. And so, yeah, it's deep. When you go through stuff like that, it's, I know another prophet, she saw the U.S. soldiers stepping on Iran and the flames overtaking them from some booby trap. But she didn't go through the fear and the overtaking of the fire of her to where she had great fear. She didn't go through the emotional aspect of it. I did, and it's traumatizing to a person, It's crazy to have to deal with that. And so that's why I'm saying, watch out for that. Because after that, that's it. There's not going to be any more stopping until Iran is decimated. But anyway, check out this clip that Donald Trump's saying, because I said all this back in April. Take care.